the worker, she worth it. Go girl, go girl, go girl, ambition. Go girl, go girl, go girl, go girl, go girl.
Hey YouTube, it's Tarika Monique and welcome back to my channel. You're probably wondering what's going on. Well, I want to be the first to welcome you to the first installment of Tease Thoughts. So, before I get into it, a little brief description. Tease Thoughts are, just going to be it's just going to be me either ranting or giving you updates on what's going on in my life, while also sipping tea and possibly spilling some tea. And as far as that's probably going to be a little bit literal and figurative at the same time because I am a little clumsy. But yeah, so I plan on doing these like whenever just things arise, because my goal for my channel is I want to be transparent with you guys, as well as I'm a very opinionated person. So I just feel like, First Amendment, I have a freedom of speech. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But anyways, so the first topic of Tease Thoughts is to go where you're appreciated. And I say that because recently I'm going through a transition in my life. And I'm going through a transition in my life as far as jobs concerned. So, when it comes to most jobs, you always want to be appreciated, whether it's getting a raise or getting like a little cookie or like a little note saying thank you for your work. I know it's your hard work and dedication, those sorts of things. So right now I work for a company that's a nursing facilitation and rehabilitation center. And for the most part, it's a pretty easy job. I just sit at the front desk, typically in the evening shifts and every other weekend. So I'm mostly the first person that visitors see when they come in and the last person they see when they leave, as well as, whenever residents needs help or like they get bored, they come out there and talk to me. Pretty much receptionist stuff. So to backtrack, when I first started, the company I worked with was a completely different company that I work with now. So when I was working with the previous company, and mind you, it was in the same building. So it's the same building, just different companies. I not only did everything I just said, but I also did like computer work and paperwork. I mean, not every so often, but when it was asking me, I did it. But for the most part, it was a pretty boring job. I just sat on my butt all day answering phones, doing nothing for real and talking to people. And with that, it was like, because I was part-time, I really didn't expect to get a raise. But at the same time, at least I felt appreciated, because I realized I'm the type of person where I like to be rewarded. And it doesn't have to be a tangible reward. As long as you give me a pat on the shoulder, a card, a thank you note, something like for example, with the previous company, when holidays came around, we always got little stuff. So when I first started working there around Christmas time, I got the little jar with the ingredients in it to make gingerbread cookies. For Valentine's Day, we got the little heart-shaped Valentine's Day cookies, so on and so forth. And that was cool enough for me, because cool, you value your employees, showing how much you appreciate them, even though it's not monetary, if you know what I mean. So now fast forward, our company got bought by another company, and with that, there's always come changes. So from there, pretty much everybody in my department was kicked out so that way they could bring more people in. And it's fine, whatever, new companies think, and that sort, new changes. I was okay with that. Ooh, that's some good tea. Still a tad bit hot, but ooh, so good. Anyways, so pretty much majority of people in my department that I was cool with and I got used to were gone. Now this new company coming in, I got comes a whole new administrator and stuff like that. So the administrator, they're cool and whatever. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Oh, before I continue, rewind back. So also while I was working with the previous company, As you guys know, I'm also a student. I recently just got accepted into physical therapy assistance program at Tri-C. So I'm about to be a full-time student as of this August, and not just a part-time student just taking classes here and there for prerequisites. So at the time, I was just taking classes, like I said, to do my prerequisites. So it was like a silent agreement between my department and the administrator at the time where, you know, as long as I was still answering phones and doing what I was supposed to do as far as like greeting visitors and addressing their concerns and stuff, I was allowed to be on my computer at the desk, because most of the time, like I would have like, you know, school work or assignments to do that, you know, nowadays, most of the time it's always online work, or you have to do something as far as like searching stuff online. So it was like that silent agreement where it was cool as long as I was doing my job. Now, typically people are like, well, why didn't you use the company's computer? We did have a computer, but for the most part, it was restricted as far as like what you can go on the internet. So it's like pretty pointless to me. Like I could do my school stuff on the laptop, because it didn't block my school stuff, but I had rather do it on my laptop, because most of the time what would happen was I would do schoolwork on a computer, on a company's computer. And most of the time when I was in, it was because I was picking up shifts for the full-time receptionist lady. So while she was hiding somewhere in the department, I would be at the front desk filling in for her, so that she could be in the back doing paperwork and contracts and stuff. So while I'm sitting there, sometimes she would come up and be like, I need to use the computer for something. So if I left something up, she would sit there and close it out. So I would have to start my assignment all over again. So I was like, it's pointless. I'm sick and tired of keep doing that. So I just decided to bring my own laptop. So that way if she needed it, I could just close my laptop down, put it on sleep mode, and, you know, let her do what she needed to do on the computer. And that way my work was saved on my laptop, and I had to, you know, worry about starting it all over again. So boom, again, there was that silent agreement. So now fast forward to this new company. Right now my laptop is broke. I need a whole new battery. Like my battery is completely dead. So what I've been doing was I've been taking my iPad to work, because even though now I don't have schoolwork, which actually I'm about to start a class this month, but I don't think it really requires me to be on a computer yet. But either way, it's like I'm sitting there for most of the time, for 2 days out the week, unless I'm working weekends, and it's like 7.5-ish hours, because, you know, I get a 30-minute break. But for the 2 days I work throughout the week, I'm only sitting there for 3 hours, so I work from 5 to 8 p.m. It gets boring when you just sit there and have nothing to do. So for the most part, if I wasn't doing schoolwork, I was like on my iPad, like coloring on a color app, or watching YouTube videos, you know, stuff like that. But I made sure that I was to where like couldn't nobody hear, or if I forgot my headphones or something like that, I would keep it on a low volume. So the new administrator comes in, and I'm just doing what I'm used to doing. Like, you know, I'm doing my usual. So, you know, he's getting to know me or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. Like, this person's cool for now, but I'm not about to warm up to him. You just got here. So it's like, it's going to take me a minute to warm up to you. Like, I got to observe you and stuff. But, what was it? It was about, it was literally last week. So I come in as my usual 5 to 8. I'm like, there's normally nothing to do. Like, literally, let me tell you how 5 to 8 works. On the days I work, from 5 to 8 p.m., this is what happens. Sometimes on certain days I get a lot of phone calls, and on other days I get like maybe 1 or 2 phone calls, and the phones are dead. Like, no hospitals or no visitors, like nobody calls that phone. Then at the same time, around 5 to 8, we don't get a lot of visitors. Most of the time you get visitors during the day, which is mostly like healthcare professionals coming in and out, whether they're checking in on the patient or coming to take them to dialysis, you know, stuff like that. But for the most part, you get most of like the family visitors on weekends, 'cause, you know, everybody typically works during the week. But from 5 to 8, you would get visitors coming in and out, but it's always like literally maybe the same 7 to 10 people coming in between 5 to 8 every day of the week. It's not like we get like 20 plus visitors, you know. So that's pretty much how that shit works. So, you know, it gets pretty boring because they don't, like, they come at like sporadic times. It's not like the same time every day. So I come into work literally last week. I think it was either Wednesday or Friday. It was one of those, during the week I work Wednesday and Friday. I think. No, I think it was Friday because then I had to go to my second job literally right after that. Yeah, so I think it was Friday. No. It was Wednesday because I was able to go straight home. Yeah, so it was Wednesday. Wednesday last week, I come in and I'm clocking in. As soon as I'm clocking in, my boss. So the administrator's not my boss. He's they the top boss. But then there's like people underneath. So my boss is the lady in the business office. So I come in, I'm clocking in, and she's like, all I hear is, oh, it's okay, you ain't gotta tell her, I'll tell her, she's right here. So, I'm thinking like, oh, maybe it's like we got a new resident. Because most of the time, like, when they tell me something, it's like, oh, we got a new resident coming in at this time, but we don't have no sheet room yet, so this is the room number. Or make sure that this person, this resident doesn't leave the facility. Or, it's something to let me know as far as the reception, so that way while I'm at the desk, I could be aware to avoid those type of situations or whatever. So I walk up to her and I said, hey, what's up? And she assists her and tells me, she was like, the administrator doesn't want you to be on your phone or your personal computer while at the desk. Oh, and if you're hungry, you can't eat at the desk. So like maybe go to the mail room or something to eat. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I just give her a look like, okay. And she's like, and she gives me this look like I know, right? Because everybody in that department is used to me doing that, like, and they never had a problem with it before. So I'm just like, okay, cool. And she was like, yeah, so the paperwork is on the desk for you to sign. Just sign it and put it in my mailbox. Now at that point, I'm like, so I got written up, and I got mad. And here's why I got mad: because for a simple fact, I had, in my lifetime, I can say that I had many jobs. I mean, that sounds like a good and bad thing, but I had many jobs that I at least kept for at least a good year. Because, I had jobs while I was in school. I did City Year, which is like a AmeriCorps program, so it's more like volunteering, giving back a year of service. So, it's not like I'm that type of person that would get a job and then within a couple of months I would quit. Like, no. When I start something, I have to finish, or at least like to stay there for a good amount of time. So I got mad because for the most part, I'm used to jobs where the warning system would go like, you would get a verbal warning. So you would, like, that person would come to you and talk to you. Then from there, you would get your first warning, which is a write-up. Second warning is a write-up, and termination, or however many warnings they give you up until termination, But each company is different. So I got mad because I'm like, so you written me up instead of giving me a verbal warning. Like, where was my verbal warning before I got written up? Now this is on my record. So I was mad about that because I'm like, I should have got that first. But then what also really, really, really made me mad at this point was the fact that I'm at the desk and I'm literally sitting here like this because I'm trying to calm down. It wasn't until a resident came and asked me, was like, okay, I literally started boo-hoo crying because I was literally this upset. I got even more upset. Was like, because first of all, not only did you not give me a verbal warning, you had my boss write me up first. But then I happened to look in the mail room because I turned the light off. Because I'm like, nobody goes in the mail room except for the nurses to make copies. So it's like a waste of light. The administrator's office is in the mail room. So I happened to look as soon as I turned off the light. And the administrator's office light was still on. So you're telling me not only did you have my boss write me up, but you're still here. And they were still there the whole night because I leave around 8. Well, on the nights I work, I clock out 5 minutes early so I can get to my other job on time. So you telling me not only did you have my boss write me up because you observed, my behavior, me being on my personal computer and stuff while I'm at the desk, but you have the nerve to sit there and hide in your office the whole entire time I'm there. Like, literally, instead of having her write me up, you could have, like, called me into your office that same night and had a discussion with me. That could have been my verbal warning. Or something. Like, don't sit there and have my boss write me up and now you want to sit here and hide. Like, to me, that's like a punk move. Because, like, now you're scared to, I'm not going to go off on you. Like, I'm still trying to keep my job. I'm going to keep it professional. Like, yeah, I may be upset. but I'm not gonna sit here and blow up on you because I don't want to get fired. You know what I'm saying? So that even made me even more mad. And then on top of that, pretty much at that point it was like the last straw, because like then there was incidents before them. So then like I said, so coming back to the topic of making like going where you're appreciated, there's 2 residents that are brothers in my facility, and the 2 brothers are technically two out of 3, so they're triplets. Just the third one's not there. So literally, I deal with them every single day I'm aware. Like literally, they're the type of residents that will annoy the crap out of you. Cause one brother, like, you know how there's those commercials like you can get addicted to smoking, this, that, and the third. I never seen anybody so addicted to nicotine until I met this resident. Like literally, their smoking hours every single like 2 hours. So it'd be like a smoking hour at 12, then 2, then 4, and after 4 you have to wait till 7, then goes 9, blah blah blah. As long as this dude has been there, he's been there longer than me. So you know he knows the smoking times. He is that person that would come like literally an hour before the next smoking time, like, ma'am, can I get my cigarette? And I go through this literally every single day, I kid you not. And I'm like, no, you have to wait till whatever the next smoking time is. Can I get 2? No, you can only get 1. Or sometimes I try to play, you be like, I normally get 2. Like, no, you only get 1. Like, it's like clockwork every single day with that man, and it gets annoying. And then the other one, his brother, he was cool at first. He was so nice stuff. Like, he's the cooler one. But the thing about him is he be thinking he be trying to play you. So, like, he'll sit there and be like, so say like he runs out of cigarettes, right? But his brother still has cigarettes. So he'll be like, can I get one of my brothers? And the rule is, if they don't have any cigarettes in their box, you can't give them, like they don't have cigarettes. Like you can't just sit there and go in anybody else's box and give them like other residents cigarettes. Like all the boxes are labeled with the residents' names who smoke. So he's like, can I get one of my brothers? And you have to tell him, like, no, you know the rules. You can't get your brother cigarettes. So then he'll sit there and be like, well, such and such, like the earlier receptionist gave me one. I'm like, well, that's between you and her. That's not me. Like, if I wasn't told I'm allowed to give your brother cigarettes, I'm not going to do it because I don't need to hear it from them and I don't need to hear it from your sister. So, yeah, so I deal with them on a regular basis. So pretty much going back to where I'm trying to connect this at. So it was one time their sister had ordered them takeout food to get delivered to the job. Well, to the nursing home. And she said that the nursing supervisor had the money. However, I guess the day that the nursing supervisor had the money, their food didn't come. So the next day I come in again. And she ordered food and whatever. However, the nursing supervisor that had the money yesterday wasn't there the next day. So the food comes, but there's no money to like give the man so they can get their food. So I'm sitting there trying to find the money, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, does anybody know the nursing supervisor's number from yesterday so I can call her, da-da-da-da. So thank God that one of the residents was paying attention, because bless her, so she was like, oh, I saw what she did with the money. She locked it in her cart. So look for the hallway's cart and it should be in there. So I did. I asked one of the nurses to unlock the cart and whatever, and they did. And long and behold, the envelope with the money for their food was in there. So I gave it to the dude, gave their food to their aide, and told them like which resident had what food. So I guess around that time, the one brother who's addicted to cigarettes had went to go call a sister because he kept, but he was like, that's my food, that's my food. And I'm like, yes, I know, but we can't give you your food until I can figure out where this money's at. Like, we don't know where this money's at. You can't get your food until your food's paid. So I guess it was to the point where he got frustrated and went to go call a sister, because then as soon as I go back to the desk, I get a phone call. I pick it up, it's their sister. She wondering what's going on, so I told her and whatever. I told her the situation, but I told her it was handled. And I kid you not, from there, because I deal with them for so, like, I've been with that, I've been working there for like, if you include when I worked there as an intern for the summer, I would have been working there for almost 2 years now. So yeah, that tells you I dealt with a lot of those people. So she goes into this like, speech about how I do so much and I go above and beyond my job to help her brothers and how much she appreciates that and this, that, and the third, because you know how, you know, sometimes other people are busy and this, that, and the third, but it seems like every time I'm there, you know, she's went through the whole thing, how much of a good job I do and how much I help her brother and how much she really appreciates it. So she ends it with, "You're doing such a good job. I'm going to make sure that the director of nursing, the full-time receptionist, and the administrator, you know, when I call, I tell them about it." And I'm like, all right, cool. So, you know, I wasn't expecting to get like a raise or something if she told them, but you know, I was expecting oh, you know, I heard, you know, such and such called and they told us, and she told us what you did, good job. Like, you know, thank you for your hard work. I ain't getting none of that. And I got that call, like she told me that like maybe a whole month ago. Still didn't get nothing. But if my old administrator was still there, I would have got a "thank you, Tarika, so much for all your hard work," and it, like, you know, something. I wouldn't have gotten nothing tangible because, like I said, I'm not that type of person, but at least I would have got acknowledged. So at that point, I'm like, okay, like, I'm not getting acknowledged for the work I do. I deal with all this BS. And at the same time, I knew it was time for me to go because not only did I not feel appreciated, but it was to the point where, like, you know how you go somewhere and as soon as you're there, it's like your energy just goes down. Like, I would be at home and I'd be happy, but then as soon as I got to work, it'd be like, I'm ready to go home. Is it 8 o'clock yet? Like, I would have like an instant attitude on my face, like, I'll be just ready to go. And that write-up was just the last straw. So I was like, I gotta transition. But even then, I was still looking for part-time jobs anyway. So I thank God, because then I was talking to my cousin, because she is in charge of like one of the stores of the first jobs I was working at. So pretty much, sorry for a second, wait. I'm gonna take you to the sunken place. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so pretty much I was talking to her and stuff like that. And from there, she was trying to figure out my schedule. And I was like, if need be, I gotta go. Like, I'll just take anything at this point. Because while being there, I tried to apply to so many jobs. And I mean, like, so many other jobs so I can quit that job. And I wasn't getting no callbacks or nothing. So, literally, I started this past Monday, where my cousin works at, back at my first job, and it was like clockwork. Like, I still knew everything. I mean, I had to get used to the cash register, but I got used to that within like an hour. But otherwise, it's like I just gotta get used to the store and where they store stuff. And before that, like literally that Sunday when she told me I would start literally this Monday, I literally sat there, typed up my 2 weeks notice, and I put it in my boss's mailbox. So I'm like, pretty much if I'm starting tomorrow, I'm putting my 2 weeks in now, because pretty much I got this job. Because I even told her, I was like, if you give me this, I told my cousin, if you give me this job, I would literally quit my other job. And I was so serious about that. I was like, if you give me this job, I'm going to quit my other job. So I literally just put in my 2 weeks notice. And honestly, this is how I know it was a sign from God that it was time for me to transition. Because once I had put my 2 weeks notice in my boss's mailbox, you know how like you do something and it's like this weight has been lifted off your chest? That's how I feel. Like, I just feel like a weight, like a heavy weight has been lifted off my chest. And I just felt so much better. Like, now when I go to work, like I had just went to work this past Wednesday, which is literally yesterday. I was content. I didn't have no attitude. I didn't have that feeling like, is it 8 o'clock yet? I was just went in, sat at that desk, answered the phone, did my usual, you know, minus the phone and my personal computer, aka my iPad. But I was content. I was fine. So that's how I knew like it was time for me to leave. And that was God's sign telling me I had to go. Other than that though, yeah, that's why this topic is go where you appreciate it. Because I'm telling you, when I even started my first day there, like, it was cool. Like, the customer was cool. It's this girl at the register that my cousin worked with. And honestly, before I even started working there, when I went up there to get some food, She even told me, she's like, oh, you coming back to work with us? Like, she was so excited. Like, I guess my cousin must have told her I wanted to come back. She was so excited. She's like, oh my God, thank you. I'm so excited. I started working my shop. Ooh, I know. Like, all she kept saying all day was, ooh, I like her. Ooh, I like her. I like her. I'm like, dude, you don't even know me. Like, and you like me. Like, that's crazy. So, yeah, like, I definitely felt appreciated. Sorry about that. The video cut off. Storage problems, but I fixed it. Anyways, so as I was saying, so yeah, moral of the story is just go where you're appreciated, as well as listen to God, because God does things for you for a reason. And I also think, and I also say because going through this experience made me realize that not only was this a transition for me and I was sick and tired of that job, but I realized that God was transitioning me out of that job because I was becoming complacent. As you can see, because I was so complacent, I was up there on my iPad and my computer when I wasn't even doing schoolwork. And when you become complacent, you're not moving forward in your purpose of what God has planned for you. So I feel like because I was becoming complacent in where I was and wasn't trying to do more for myself, God was like, no, like, I'm about to put a fire under your butt and get you moving, because this is not helping you get towards the steps you want to do. So I'm about to sit here and intervene and take a step in. And he definitely did that. He seriously did do that. And I'm grateful and thankful because I realized that even my sister helped me realize, like, my sister has a showcase coming up on the 20th. And I was like, oh, I got to ask the other part-time receptionist, because she covered for me, and can we switch shifts? And my sister looked at me and was like, this is your last day on the 17th? So, and I sat there and I'm like, oh, shoot, you right. Like, I don't have to ask, because after the 17th, I'm done at that place. So it's like, because I was able to switch jobs and God was able to, like, move me in another direction, I have so much more opportunity to do things that not only I want to do, as far as, like, to help build me personally, mentally, physically, and all that other stuff, but I also have more opportunities to continue to grow in my purpose. So, and after that, I realized, because, like, everything I want to do, I was like, oh, I can't do it at work. And I'm like, wait, no, that's after the 17th. I had to work those hours, so I'm literally free that evening. Like, it's just been a real blessing, and I thank God for doing what he did, because otherwise I'd still be there sitting at a desk until I was finished with school. And at least with this other place, schedules are so flexible that you can pretty much make your own schedule as long as you tell the manager what's going on. Whereas the other place, I had a set schedule. So that's another blessing in itself. Just like, if something pops up, I'd be like, hey, I can't work this day, but I can work on this day in the morning and or evening. Like, just, yeah. So, moral of this story, go where you're appreciated, and it does not have to be monetary value. Like, most people nowadays think you have to get paid. Like, it's a good benefit. I'm not gonna lie, if I got a raise, you know, it ain't gonna hurt my pockets. I'd be happy, but not everything has to be a monetary reward. Just being shown that you're appreciated for your hard work and dedication is good enough. So again, go where you're appreciated. Listen to God. When he tells you to move, you better move, because yeah, if not, he's gonna make you move himself. And don't be complacent. Like, I'm the type of person, I don't like being complacent, but I'm mad at myself because I was becoming complacent at that place. So if you can take anything out of this T's Thoughts session today, please take those 3 things with you. But other than that, I'm done. So please like this video, because I plan on doing more of these. So if you really like this, please give me a thumbs up, as well as please comment. I really want to interact with you guys, so please comment in the comment section below, as well as share this video and subscribe. And once you subscribe, also click that bell notification, that way you'll be notified when I post future videos. And with that, guys, that's it. Tarika out of here.